My hat says make waves. That could possibly get me in trouble, or it could not. It just depends on who you are and where you stand. Now, I keep hearing over and over again that November is quite possibly the most stacked month we've had in sneakers. Let's just go ahead and change that to for Jordan Brand, because when you see these posts, they are certainly only related to Jordan Brand releases, specifically, a ton of retros. But I don't know personally that's how I would see it. Like, time and time again, I just sit and ask myself, like, is it stacked in the room with us? And you know what? That could just be me, because I already ran down my thoughts on like 11 pairs of Air Jordan 11s. Wouldn't have been the direction that I personally went, with that silhouette, but I get it, the anniversary and everything. Like, that's what they wanted to do. That's how they wanted to celebrate it. Okay, great. And I'm not somebody that dislikes all of the Jordan 11s that they're coming out with, but nonetheless, yes, a lot. I don't necessarily like think of stacked. When I think of stacked, let's take it back to like more beginning of the year, because this was one of the times where I really felt that, February and All-Star Weekend, I think it really gave us something special from a range of brands. And I've kind of stood on that in 2025. And that when we say this is an amazing year, to me, I think it's about the depth and range that we've seen from so many brands, not just one specific brand that can hold such a special place in people's heart, but again, various brands. And so, yeah, I still think that February, if we're going to say like stacked, maybe that's where I would put my money in terms of like a stacked month. But I know a lot of people are excited about November. It's a little bit of a weird space for me. I'm excited about November because it's my birthday month. I would normally probably in the past, I would say, yeah, I would have been someone excited at least about some of these pairs based on, what we're seeing. Now, one, when it comes to like the Cozy Girl that dropped on November 1st, not for me. I've passed on quite a few women's fours. I think the last one I picked up was the Canyon Purple 4. Yeah, I think I would have to say the Canyon Purple 4. And again, I wear that one quite a bit. It's loud, it's out there, but I think they did a really great job on executing that for the ladies. Yeah, that would, it's not moving me like Cozy Girl 4. Also, I've said before, I don't wear my 4s a whole lot. That's why I've been okay with selling them in recent times. I've already said no 12s will make the pickup list for me anymore. And yeah, I mean, if you don't by 12s, you could not really be considered true to this. We've all been here already on the channel, okay? So, not picking up that Taxi 12. I know a lot of people are going on and on about the shape of it. You can comment your thoughts below on how you feel about it. I really did think that the Air Jordan 1 Low Chicago returning, that was like the one OG that I didn't have, right? I went on eBay. I found all of the other ones in my size, from the Shadow to the Bread to the Royal. Chicago was the only one that I didn't have. It was going for like $700 in my size everywhere I looked. Absolutely, positively wasn't going to pay that. And so, patience certainly paid, waited, didn't pay that high price, came back around 2025. But now it's, maybe it is like the redundancy. If you guys didn't catch the fact, I did a video about like the redundancy of some of the pairs that we have. And I had to catch myself like mid-video, because thinking about the pairs that I already had that were Jordan 1s, right? They were in the thumbnail. They all just looked identical from the back. You wouldn't have known. And sure, like it's a low versus a high, but the redundancy would absolutely be there in relation to the lost and found in this Chicago 1 Low. So I'll be all the way out of the way, wishing everyone luck if you're going for that. And then we see some other retros that are here. Black Cat 4, it didn't move me when it dropped way back, what was it, 2020? And people thought I was crazy because I didn't buy it then. I even worked within Kids Foot Locker then. Like, I could have got it on discount. It just wasn't something that moved me then. I don't know that I have tons of all black shoes also. I have like one. I have the Bad Bunny, the buckle, the Forum Buckle Low. But I think that might be like the only all black, like all murdered out black pair that I have. And that should probably tell you that I just don't wear a lot of all black sneakers. So if you're going for it, great. Love that for you. Still would put like the Olivia Kim 4 over that, but also who wants to pay the price for that now? And then we know that the hype beast pair of the month will be the Air Jordan 1 Air Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott Fragment. If it'll even, I've heard the rumors and seen that it might drop on Sneakers app, which if it does, listen, I'm wishing you all the best. Like, a lot of people still want to be able to get their hands on a Travis pair that they like. Just because Travises have dropped them in more accessible, it doesn't mean that it's one that you've liked, like color-wise, design-wise. It doesn't mean that. And some people don't just want to buy a Travis just to say that they have a Travis. I have the very first one, think it's the best one that they've ever come out with. So really fortunate and blessed to have that, because I never even have had an inkling of a chance when it comes to being able to get them after that. So you know what? I'm sure that's like a really hot take there, right? And I'm sure a lot of people are going to think I'm 1000% in the wrong to think that February is a little bit more stacked in terms of the month within 2025 versus November. You know where I'm not wrong though, and I'm okay that I was probably the odd one out, especially when it came to YouTube, and how I chose to address the initial arrest and news and chaos of Cool Kicks and, again, their arrest with the LAPD. Because you know what I don't have to do? I don't have to put out a retraction of what I said.
Right, let's just go down and read something that is factual. The LAPD have not stated that the allegedly stolen goods were fake or counterfeit. So I understand that it is the Bunko Task Force Division of the LAPD that went in and actually made the arrest and did the raid on the warehouse for Cool Kicks, but that doesn't by default mean that the actual items themselves were counterfeit or AKA fake. Fraud is also you simply using somebody's information without their approval or their authority. That too would be considered fraud.
Because it was so weird to me from the start that everyone and their mom chose to run with, oh, well, they were arrested dealing with counterfeit goods and dealing with fakes. Who told you that? Because that was nowhere in the official report, the official statement by the actual police department. And had people just waited, just calmly waited, that would have been disclosed. And you wouldn't have, again, you wouldn't have to redact or retract things that you said. You wouldn't have to retract things that you said. I had already said, if you rush out to do these things, and it's wrong, this is also why you need to say allegedly, and it's wrong, you're going to have to issue a million. Listen, if you did video, you're going to have to put up a new video, right? If you printed that, you're going to have to take that post down, and then you're going to have to come out and say like, hey, we're sorry, we were in the wrong. So it's not just one publication that's had to do this. I believe it's multiple publications that have had to do this, because when you want to also be the news, like this is the one thing I don't think that I care about a lot of things on social media. It is about, and this is just in media in general. Can you be first? Especially when it's jaw-dropping and it's juicy and it's drama, can you be first? But being first and inaccurate, I don't think that's the flex that you may think it is, right? So Nice Kicks had to put out a statement saying, earlier this month, we shared a post featuring Cool Kicks CEO Adil Shams that inaccurately described the circumstances surrounding his arrest. The post referenced information from a public booking record listing the arresting unit as the LAPD's Bunko Forgery Division. Okay, we understand that. After additional information became available, we learned through the official LAPD press release that Shams was in fact arrested by the department's cargo theft unit on October 2nd and charged with receiving stolen property. According to that release, detectives recovered approximately $500,000 worth of stolen train cargo, including Nike footwear and apparel. In a subsequent post, we shared both the LAPD's official statement and Cool Kicks' response. To clarify, there have been no allegations against Cool Kicks or their CEO, Adil, related to counterfeit goods. I'm just saying, I wasn't in the wrong there. Might have been in the minority of how I chose to address it, what I chose to say on here about it, but I wasn't wrong. I don't need to put out one of these statements or videos. I'm just saying, like, you do have to think about, if you were in that position, how would you want things framed? You don't get to control the narratives, but my goodness, you at least hope that they are factual and as objective as possible. So that's all I wanted to share there on that. Again, if you're interested in anything in November dropping, and I'm talking about everything, not just anything Jordan related, please go ahead and drop it below in the comment section. And please go ahead and check out a recent video I did. It is a little bit of a different format, showing you guys, how I'm inspired to try out different fits and looks based on, outfits that I've seen on Pinterest and shopping my own closet, because we got clothes at home, especially in this economy, okay? So please be sure to check that video out. Share your thoughts. If it does really well, then hey, I'll do like a follow-up. If it doesn't, then the fits will just go on Instagram at talkstylewith.tj. And if you didn't already, catch my series and the series in which I am a part of, Shoe Game. It is live now on ESPN and NBA on ESPN here on YouTube. So appreciate you guys if you tuned into that. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.